Today is a 112022, which is an 8. So we are in an infinity portal. It is the perfect time to step through the center of this figure 8 into timelessness. So, though I am calling this the 2022 reading, year at a glance, this is really a point on this day where we can jump through into timelessness as my cat jumps. So I have some beautiful cards I want to share with you. Kyle Gray, illustrated by Jennifer Hawkyard, the Gateway of Light Activation Oracle that we're going to use today, and maybe a few Key Vesta cards too while we're at it. So I'm going to pull 12 cards and then probably one of the Key Vesta for a 13 card spread that makes a portal. So we're first going to look at the previous year in summary. The previous year in summary. My cat has found a rude Raksha pit and he's pushing it around the room like a ball. He's very cute. Very cute. You guys have to see this. See all my cards. There's my cat. There's the ball. Oh my gosh, so cute. I didn't know those things could be balls, but they are. They're good balls. Okay, the previous year in summary, guys. According to these cards, connecting to the great central sun. This is all about abundance downloads, regeneration, and success. So that is the previous year. So even though it doesn't seem like that from many vantage points, this card is letting you know that we did anchor into the great central sun in 2021, and we did link up the abundance grids and for success and regeneration. That has been complete. So when we look at the lessons from the previous year that we really want to get and take in before going forward, that is a serious star blessing. So if we learned anything last year, as this card says, it means yes, proceed, be seen, push through. So if we learned anything last year, it's to proceed forward. Continue with your yes. Continue going forward. This card is about wishes coming true. So it's funny because even though you could say it's reflected in the all that somebody else's wishes were starting to come true, what we can see is in real time that if somebody puts thought and energy into a project, they can begin to see that manifest in the world, and it can also be halted if there's not a resonant field. But the lesson we need to learn from last year is actually a yes. So where were you making wishes in 2021? What was your yes then? What were you pointing your nose in a direction of? This energy is saying, okay, that's a lesson from the previous year to see what you thought your wishes were also, and to examine that in the year to come. So let's look at the aspirations for the next 12 months on this card. Okay, so we've got the Akashic Records. This card is about going and changing old stories, releasing past lives, and freedom. This is the aspiration. We want to be free. We want to release that old story. That's what we're aspiring to do this year. And what may stand in the way of that is the next card. Interesting. Our interconnectedness or not, the divine matrix, the grid, synchronicity. But this could also be, what's standing in the way and what do we have to do? So what's standing in the way is that we aren't interconnecting enough to clear all that stuff and be free. That the solution is actually to connect in with one another in the true creation pattern. I have more to say around that. That's actually from the Lemurian classes that are coming up starting next week, not this week, but the 10th. that are kind of about busting through the membrane of the flower of life. But if we're not quite to that point yet, this card is saying the way that we are separating ourselves from each other may be impeding our aspiration of freedom. So to connect in with one another, to look for the divine synchronicities that are at play. Like if you have a dream about somebody that you aren't connected to anymore because something went down, like maybe reach out to them. Maybe that would be a good thing to do. All right. What empowers us to reach these aspirations? So if that stands in our way and that we need to look at that, what empowers us? And we get Order of Melchizedek, embraced by light. Mission uncovered, don't give up. So let's read from the book on this one, because this is what empowers the aspiration to be free, is the Order of Melchizedek. These cards are beautiful. I highly recommend them. Really powerful information for this time. Melchizedek, whose name means King of Righteousness, is the first high priest mentioned in the Bible, the one who initiated all the great teachers that followed him. He is mentioned in several Abrahamic texts, including the Dead Sea Scrolls and also the Kabbalist Zohar. He's an ancient gatekeeper of the light who's dedicated to helping all those walking the spiritual path to take the initiatory steps to align with light. The best way to describe this great being is as a wizard. I love that. You know, I grew up in the LDS church, and they have the Melchizedek priesthood as their highest priesthood. No women can hold it in the church, which is one of the things I don't resonate with. But I've never heard him called a wizard, and that's like more my style. When you invoke Melchizedek, you will feel the presence of a loving and angelic grandfather who wants to guide you to your greatness. The Order of Melchizedek, which was mentioned by Jesus in the New Testament, is a divine order of very high-frequency light beings, angels and masters who work together as an energetic force dedicated to lighting up and outshining all darkness and bringing in a greater balance of masculine and feminine energies to Earth. Its members include Jesus Christ, Archangel Michael, Archaea Faith, and Mother Mary. By connecting with these cosmic beings, we give permission for our energy to be upgraded by light and to light. I would add some other beings in there, including Mary Magdalene, so that we can become an even greater vessel of purpose for the world. So how to empower ourselves to be free this year is to invoke the light, invoke spiritual support, and call on the Order of Melchizedek. So within you is the capacity to call on this order and to imagine yourself being cloaked with light. You can say, Order of Melchizedek, light bearers, angelic beings, cosmic guides, thank you for enveloping me in your brilliant, crystal clear light. And that's it. That's when you need, that's how we do it. So again, Order of Melchizedek, light bearers, angelic beings, and cosmic guides. Thank you for enveloping me in your brilliant, crystal clear light. So it is. Okay, now we're going to pull on relationships and emotions in 2022. So through this portal, we have the opportunity to align with specific sort of relationships, and this activation card is going to outline that for us. It is the Gaia Gateway activation. So wisdom transmissions, earth intelligence, learning experiences. So our relationships and our emotions, one thing that's coming through hard is they're grounded ones, real ones, tangible ones, not ethereal relationships. So this is also what connects us to the Mother Earth. And it's really about tangibility and like earth medicine and enjoying the physical. And says Earth herself cannot escape the challenges she's facing, but learn from her strength. Yearn for a better future. Come back to her. She's your home. So relationships that allow you to feel at home on Gaia, to feel at home in your body, that are accepting of your physical incarnation. Your career, work, and finances card. Okay. Work and finances. That Gaia card can also be your relationships or other people working for the benefit of the earth. Your emotions, you might also be feeling the earth's emotional transformation. The earth has feels too. Okay, for career, finances, and work this year, third eye activation. This is definitely speaking about, what your work is intuitively guided. Allow yourself to be intuitively guided for what you're supposed to be doing so that you can have clear sight. And this card is activating clear vision in you, that you are doing what you're here to do. Let's see what else. This gateway encourages you to unlock your psychic abilities, stop questioning your ability to see. I mean, we all have this capacity. So what it's really saying is allow yourself to be intuitively guided in your work to what you need to do at every moment. And that might change along the way. Excuse me, I'm having some release here. Okay, health and well-being. This is for the collective. And also that last one, finances, like it's being guided by a higher mind. And that can also mean quantum. Okay, health and well-being for the collective is getting a Merkaba activation. Yes, we are. Each being is getting their Merkaba body activated. So these are the med beds, guys. These are the med beds, is your own Merkaba field. So those are being activated for ascension. The health and well-being, what's going on with everyone's body is ascension. It is ascension. Everything else is deactivated. If you cannot make it through the ascension portal right now and you are resistant to that, you will likely leave. And we thank you for your choice to help uplift consciousness, because every time souls leave, there is an upliftment in consciousness that is also helping the ascension of the earth. This is not to downplay anyone's life or importance or anything. I send love and blessings if you're losing someone. I know that's a very painful thing. I would have a difficult time and have had a difficult time with that also. And every being is coded to ascend if they choose to get alignment and clear those old patterns. Okay, our spiritual energy on this planet for the collective 2022 stellar gateway activation, manifestation vortex. This is the middle of the figure 8 I was talking about. This is where we're at. We're at a stellar gateway activation portal for the collective. And the whole year is this gateway, this 222. Let's see what the book says here. The stellar gateway is the highest of our chakras, found 12 to 24 feet above our heads. It's the energetic gateway that connects us with the divine matrix. It governs our connection to the spiritual laws of creation and the quantum field, and holds our life's potential and the intentions that we set before this incarnation, and all the ones that we've set to support us in the ever-unfolding path of our earthly experience. Energetically, its portal is beyond time and space, and when we connect with it, we come into alignment with all the aspects of our soul's journey. This card transports us to a stargate with a great pyramid in it. Above the stargate, there are three-dimensional images of Thoth, the former priest king of Atlantis. Um, this is a reminder of our potential, our ancient starry origins. The pyramids, a symbol of rising power, how our soul has existed throughout lifetimes. And the Stargate is a projection of our own stellar gateway. And again, that brings us back to third eye activation, the Merkaba field, and then the stellar gateway. So I really think the planet is preparing for some stellar contact this year. That's the spiritual fulfillment of the planet. So prepare that in your own mind. The advice we need most to heed, what do we need most to focus on for this 2022 as a collective? Our heart, the Stargate of the heart. Again and again, this is the message as things get frustrating, or we want to see justice, or we hate the things that have occurred, or people aren't on the same page. Again and again, we are asked to return to the heart chakra. And here's that Merkaba field that is now floating above the three-dimensional world because it's uplifted by, first of all, unity within itself, and then connection to the source of love that we reach through that manifestation vortex. So we need most focus on the heart. The lessons for the coming year for the collective will be around karmic release and healing the lineage and strong boundaries. Okay, that is the ancestral realm talking. And the ancestral realm is saying this is all getting cleaned up this year, guys. All the lineage stuff. So stay in your heart. The final message overall for 2022 from the Gateway Activation, Light Activation cards is it's a solar light upgrade year. That means our willpower, our inner fire, our solar connection, just like at the beginning, from the great central sun, that carryover has been supporting us to turn that own light, our own lights on in our own selves, in our own being, so that we can clear out the debris of this planet. And I want to just pull one card from the Beyond Lemuria deck as the blessing card of the year. So leaving with a blessing of, oh look, third eye chakra again. So the eyes are being awakened. The eyes are being awakened, and the pineal gland is how we connect with that Merkaba field. We activate it here around our being. But so you can see the person here, but the field is actually around the person. Around you now. So we'll go ahead and close with just taking attention to the third eye, closing your eyes, bring attention here. Deep breath into this new year. This is our year. This is the year we rise. This is a year of visible ascension. And for those of you who are interested in assisting the transition into world peace, this begins with inner peace, self-peace. So I have some remembering courses put together for those who are interested in embodiment. You're ready to do the embodiment for the planet. The first one is the Lemurian science of peace. There's two parts to that. The first one is a recapitulation of the inner family, including subpersonalities, so that we can balance duality within ourselves. There are 9 parts to that course. You can find information of this on my website, listenthehouse.com. The second one is the self-rejuvenation practices that also come from the Lemurian tablets and Saradisi tablets that I studied and learned through my teacher Almeen. Much of this wisdom is brought through studying with her and some of my other mentors, but much of the work is coming through studying with Almeen and some of her material that is so important for this time. And since she's no longer teaching live, I am feeling moved. In fact, she's come to me in a dream recently, and that always to me means it's actually her, and I just feel it is time. Just ever since just before my birthday, I've been feeling at the solstice this Lemurian wisdom coming back. And some people are ready and they're primed and they just don't know where to go next. So the third course is the second part of the Lemurian Science of Peace that integrates 13 aspects of the mystery. Some call the wise woman, some call the muse. These are parts of the dark matter of self, the unseen, the unknown parts of self, that when we see them, we highlight them, we create the eighth direction. So we create this infinity loop that we're actually in one today, and allows us to go through the middle into a life of mastery beyond duality, part of our transformation and ascension process. So that's the third one. That one, you integrate the elements at your leisure. That again is all information on my website, blissinthehouse.com. And then the fourth one is the Unified Field Agent Training. So if you feel like you are on planet Earth to be a unified field agent, and you are here to help reconstruct the unified field in your own consciousness so that it becomes visible to others on planet Earth, well, I have a training course for you based on integrating 144 illuminations of the God Kingdom and oneness concepts from the Lemurian Key Vesta that I also studied and became a high priestess of with Almeen many years ago. So these concepts change the lens through which you're looking. They activate your pineal gland on a much deeper level. They bring you remembrances, and they're very potent. Please check out my website, blissinthehouse.com, for details on that, how to sign up, what are the alchemical exchanges required for these, and when we start. So I look forward to working with those of you who are drawn to it. Thank you for joining me for this very special Infinity Portal reading today on 112022. I'm Stasia Bliss, in service to Earth's Ascension.